The universe does not reward struggle, it rewards completion. Pain is not the prize, it is the price of admission to a reality where pain is no longer the password. And right now, the system that demanded that password from you daily has just been wiped clean. That long, brutal, seemingly endless level of your life is over. A cosmic message just flashed across the screen of your soul, level complete. They, the architects of your hardship, the gatekeepers of your pain, thought the game would last forever. They were invested in your struggle because it was the source code of their own reality. But they never read the fine print. This was not a life sentence. It was a tutorial. And you just graduated with honors. The next level is loading, and the entry fee was everything you just endured. Chapter 1, the END of level report. You have been conditioned to believe that your history is a record of your failures. You have been taught to look back on the betrayals, the losses, and the periods of agonizing loneliness as evidence of your unworthiness. That is the programming of the old level. It was designed to keep you grinding, to keep you convinced that you were perpetually one mistake away from total annihilation. But that is not a history, it is a transcript. It is your end of level report, and you have misunderstood every line item until this very moment. What you called betrayal was actually the advanced combat training module. The universe needed to teach you how to discern an enemy's energy before they ever drew their weapon. It had to show you how a smile could be a mask and how silence could be a declaration of war. It allowed those people into your life as living, breathing tutorials. They showed you every trick in the book, the fake praise, the passive aggression, the loyalty that was only a rental agreement. They were not your punishment, they were your sparring partners. And when they left, when they showed their true colors, that was not an abandonment. That was the module completion notice. You passed the test. You learned the lesson. The program was uninstalled. What you called loneliness was the spiritual isolation chamber. This was the most critical part of your training. You had to be separated from the noise, from the constant static of other people's opinions, fears, and limitations. The system needed to get you alone to upgrade your internal hardware. It was a sensory deprivation tank for the soul, designed to strip away everything that was not you so that what remained was pure, uncut, and powerful. In that silence, your intuition was sharpened from a dull whisper into a divine broadcast. Your connection to Source was rewired, bypassing the corrupted servers of societal expectation and family programming. You had to learn to be your own savior because you were being trained to be a leader, and a leader cannot be dependent on the validation of the crowd. That period of intense isolation was not a rejection from the world, it was your anointment in the wilderness. It was the universe ensuring that when you stepped into your power, your voice would be your own, uncorrupted and absolute. You had to sit with your own soul long enough to remember its signature sound. What you called failure was the resilience and adaptation simulation. Every time a door slammed shut, every time a project collapsed, every time money disappeared right when you needed it most, you were being tested. It was a stress test on your spirit. The universe was applying pressure to see where the cracks were. It needed to know, will they break or will they innovate? Will they curse the darkness or will they become the light? Every so-called failure forced you to pivot, to find a new way to access a level of creativity and strength you did not know you possessed. These were not setbacks, they were strategic redirects. The universe was closing the wrong doors with dramatic flair so you would be forced to find the hidden one, the one that led to this exact moment. They were not proof of your inability, they were proof that your destiny was so specific, so high level, that anything less than the perfect path had to be aggressively blockaded. Your spirit was being fire tested. It was being made unbreakable. And what you called poverty or lack was the resource management gauntlet. You had to learn the spiritual physics of abundance on hard mode. You had to master the art of gratitude when you had nothing. You had to learn to create from thin air, to trust in provision when the evidence was stacked against you. This was not a cosmic cruelty. It was the final boss battle of the material world. By forcing you to live without, the universe taught you that your source is not a job, not a bank account, not another person. Your source is within. You learned to manifest peace in the middle of a storm, joy in the face of lack, and certainty in the chaos. You have now mastered the emotional state of wealth without having the physical currency. And because you have passed this final, brutal test, the currency must now rush in to match the frequency you were forced to hold. You have proven you can be trusted with everything because you learned how to be sustained by nothing. This is your end-of-level report. Read it not as a list of wounds, but as a list of skills unlocked. Betrayal taught you discernment. Loneliness gave you sovereignty. Failure gave you resilience. Lack gave you mastery over reality itself. The hardest level is complete. This is not a theory. This is a spiritual fact that is now being activated in your life. To formalize this activation, there is an assignment. Do not underestimate these instructions. They are the physical keys to your metaphysical kingdom. Like this video to anchor the energy of this completion into your timeline. This action is a digital signature on your cosmic contract, declaring the old level officially over. Subscribe to this channel to join the collective of those who have passed the test and are entering the new reality. Your subscription is a signal that you are no longer operating as an isolated player but as part of a divine guild. Comment 77 below. This is not a random number, it is a divine code, an energetic signature that confirms to the universe that you have received this transmission and are ready for the promised wealth. Replay this message in the background. Let it play as you sleep, as you work. The words will saturate your spirit and recalibrate your subconscious mind, overwriting the old programming of struggle with the new source code of abundance. Chapter 2, the NEW Game Lobby. You are now standing in a place that has no name in the human language. It is the space between realities, the divine loading screen between the brutal level you just completed and the wealthy reality you are about to enter. This place feels strange. It is quiet, almost too quiet. For years, your existence was defined by the noise of battle. The sound of alarms, the shouting of enemies, the constant, grinding stress of survival was your normal. The silence you are now experiencing is unsettling because it is the sound of peace, a frequency your nervous system is still learning to process. Do not mistake this calm for inactivity. This is the new game lobby. It is a celestial waiting room, a quarantine zone designed to fully cleanse your energy field of the residue from the last level before you are granted access to the next. This is the divine buffer zone, ensuring no malware from your previous operating system can corrupt the new one you are installing. In this lobby, you will notice things feel different. Time itself seems to warp. Some days may feel incredibly long and slow, while others will pass in a blur. This is the cosmic server synchronizing your personal timeline with the new, higher vibrational reality. You might feel a sense of disconnection from the world you just left. The dramas, the politics, the petty squabbles that used to consume the people around you now seem distant and trivial, like watching a badly acted play from a great distance. This is not you being cold or uncaring. This is proof that you have ascended to a higher viewing platform. You have been moved from the playing field to the executive box. You can see the whole game now, and you recognize it for the illusion it is. The ghosts of the old level cannot follow you here. This is a spiritual fact. The enemies, the doubters, the energy vampires who fed on your struggle are locked out. Their access keys have been revoked. They might still try to reach you. You may get a random text message from an ex-friend or hear a piece of gossip from a family member. But notice how it feels. It has no power. Their words are like bullets hitting bulletproof glass. You can hear the ping, but you feel nothing. The emotional hooks they used to use have been dissolved. This is your first tangible proof that the game has changed. You are operating on a new server, and they are stuck on the old one, screaming into a disconnected headset. They can't understand why they can no longer affect you, and this confusion is the beginning of their own karmic cycle. During your time in this lobby, you will be given your new avatar. Look in the mirror. You might not recognize the person looking back at you. There is a light in your eyes that was not there before, a calmness in your posture, a sense of quiet authority. This is your upgraded self, your 2.0 version. The old one, the one that had to be tough, aggressive, and constantly vigilant, has been retired. That avatar served its purpose, but it is too heavy, too dense for the next level. Your new form is lighter, more fluid, more magnetic. This is the version of you that attracts, that allows, that receives. The universe is asking you to get comfortable in this new skin. Let go of the old armor. It is no longer needed. The next level is not a battlefield, it is a kingdom, and you are not a soldier anymore. You are royalty. This is also a period of final integration. Memories from the last level will surface, not to haunt you, but for final review and release. You might suddenly remember a painful moment, a harsh word, a deep betrayal. Do not push it away. See it for what it was, a data packet from your training. Thank it for the lesson it provided, and then consciously delete the file. Feel the emotional charge associated with it dissolve into nothingness. The universe is helping you clear your cache, freeing up bandwidth for the massive downloads of abundance that are incoming. This is not about forgetting the past, it is about harvesting its wisdom and discarding its weight. You are packing for a new journey, and you can only take the lessons, not the baggage. Embrace the quiet of this celestial lobby. It is a gift. It is the deep, restorative breath before the glorious plunge. The progress bar is almost full. The next level is about to begin. Chapter 3, Accessing the Divine Inventory for your entire life. You have been operating with a restricted inventory. You were given just enough to survive the brutal level you were in, just enough strength, just enough hope, just enough provision to make it to the next day. This was by design. It forced you to become incredibly resourceful. It taught you how to turn crumbs into a feast. But that era of restriction is over. Upon completing the hardest level, you have been granted full administrative access to your divine inventory, a spiritual storehouse of assets and gifts that were held in escrow for you until you were ready. This is not something you have to earn anymore. It is your inheritance, and the seals have just been broken. The first item you will now find in your inventory is an asset called Flawless Clarity. In the old level, confusion was a constant weapon used against you. You were kept in a fog, unsure of who to trust, what move to make, or where your path was leading. That fog has now lifted permanently. A celestial clarity will settle over you. Decisions that once agonized you for weeks will become instantly, obviously clear. You will simply know the right answer. It will not be a thought, it will be a deep, unshakable cellular certainty. You will look at people and see not their masks, but their motives. You will look at opportunities and instantly discern which are gold and which are traps. This is not psychic ability in the old world sense, it is your upgraded internal guidance system coming online. Your intuition is no longer a suggestion, it is a divine directive. The next asset is called sovereign magnetism. Before, you had to chase, to strive, to convince, to sell. You had to expend enormous energy just to get people to see your value. That is over. The frequency of your new avatar is intensely magnetic. Now, you do not chase, you attract. The right people, the soulmate clients, the loyal friends, the divine partner. They will now be drawn into your orbit effortlessly. You will notice people wanting to help you for no apparent reason. Opportunities will land in your lap. Money will find its way to you through the most unexpected channels. This is not luck. This is the law of your new reality. You are no longer a radio searching for a signal. You are the broadcast tower, and everything aligned with your frequency is now being pulled toward you with an irresistible gravitational force. You will become a walking gravitational field for blessings, and you won't even have to try. In fact, trying will only slow it down. Your only job is to be yourself. Your authentic energy is the most powerful magnet in the universe. You also now have access to a tool known as instantaneous recalibration. In the past, when you were hit with negative energy, a bad day, or a psychic attack, it could knock you out for days or even weeks. You had to slowly, painfully climb back to your center. Now, your recovery time is near instantaneous. You have the ability to recognize a low vibrational energy, acknowledge it, and release it in minutes, not days. You can be in the midst of chaos and maintain a core of unshakable peace. It is like having a spiritual immune system that is so powerful, no psychic virus can take hold. A negative comment will bounce off you. A stressful situation will feel like a movie you are watching, not a reality you are in. This tool ensures that you can no longer be derailed or thrown off your path. Your energetic sovereignty is absolute. Finally, the most powerful asset in your inventory, the unlocked treasury. This is the wealthy reality the title promises. Think of it as a divine bank account that was created for you at birth, filled with limitless resources. For your entire life, you could only see the account balance, but you couldn't make a withdrawal. The hardship you endured was the final signature needed to unlock the funds. This treasury is not just money. It is a flow of resources in all its forms: health, time, creativity, inspiration, and yes, financial abundance. You have been cleared to receive. Your only work now is to expand your capacity to hold it. The universe is not going to trickle it in. It is going to come as a flood. You passed the test of lack. You proved you could maintain your integrity and your faith with nothing. Now you will be given everything because the universe finally knows it can trust you with it. Chapter 4: Cheat Codes for the Material Realm. You have been playing the game of life on the hardest possible difficulty setting. You followed all the rules, even when they were unfair. You played with honor, even when your opponents cheated. You operated under the assumption that the laws of this reality, the laws of economics, of effort and reward, of cause and effect, were rigid and applied to everyone equally. This was a necessary illusion for your training. But now that you have completed that level, the truth is being revealed to you. For the anointed ones, the rules are different. You have not just been moved to an easier level, you have been given the administrative cheat codes for the material realm. What was once impossible is now your new normal. The first cheat code is called effortless manifestation. In the old programming, manifestation was a grind. You had to visualize, affirm, script, and maintain a perfect emotional state, and even then, the results were slow and unpredictable. That protocol has been deprecated. Your new manifestation process is simply this: a clear desire followed by a relaxed knowing. You will have a thought, a simple idea for a business, a need for a certain amount of money, a desire for a specific outcome. You will think it once, clearly and without desperation. And then you will let it go. And it will appear. It is that simple. The universe is now hardwired to your consciousness. Your desires are no longer requests sent up to the heavens, they are commands sent directly to the quantum field. You will think of a person, and they will call. You will need a piece of information, and it will appear in front of you. This is not magic, it is the physics of the new reality you inhabit. Your vibrational signature is now so high that the material world must rearrange itself to match your instructions. The second cheat code is time compression. The old axiom that good things take time has been deleted from your source code. You are now operating on an accelerated timeline. Projects that should take years will be completed in months. Healing that should take a decade will occur in weeks. Financial goals you thought were a lifetime away will materialize this year. You are going to experience quantum leaps. One day you will be here, and the next you will be in a completely different reality, a different tax bracket, a different state of being. Do not be alarmed by the speed at which your life is about to transform. You are not cutting corners, you are riding a cosmic wave. Your hard level was the period of slow, deliberate growth. You were building the foundation. Now that the foundation is set, the skyscraper can be erected almost overnight. The third cheat code is divine favor. This is one of the most potent codes you now possess. It means that systems, institutions, and people of influence will inexplicably bend in your favor. You will get the loan you don't technically qualify for. You will be chosen for the opportunity over hundreds of more experienced candidates. Rules will be bent for you. Red tape will dissolve before you. You will walk into rooms and people in power will feel an immediate, unexplainable urge to help you, to endorse you, to fund you. This is not about manipulation or charm. This is the anointing on your life being made visible to the world. Heaven's verdict is in, and it is in your favor. This is not about getting a pass, it is about the system finally recognizing your true clearance level. Your soul has the highest security clearance, and the material world is just catching up. The systems built by men must now bow to a divine decree. They may not understand why they are helping you, but they will feel compelled to do so. This is the universe clearing your path of all human-made obstacles. The final and most misunderstood cheat code is asymmetrical rewards. In the old level, your reward was directly proportional to your effort. You worked 10 hours, you got paid for 10 hours. That system is obsolete. You are now entering a reality of asymmetrical rewards, where your results will be exponentially greater than your input. You will have one brilliant idea in the shower, and it will generate millions. You will have one heartfelt conversation with someone, and it will open a door to an empire. You will create one piece of art, one product, one service from a place of pure joy, and it will sustain you for the rest of your life. This is because you are no longer being paid for your time or your labor. You are being rewarded for your frequency. You are being compensated for the entirety of the hardship you endured in the last level. This is not your salary. This is your back pay. The cosmic scales are now being balanced, and the result will be a level of wealth and ease that defies all logic of the old world. Chapter 5: The Ghosts in the OLD Machine. As you begin to operate in your new reality, a critical question will arise. What happens to them? What happens to the people from the last level, the enemies, the betrayers, the doubters, the ones who built their identities on your struggle? The answer is simple and profoundly detached. They become ghosts in the old machine. They are now non-player characters, or NPC, in a game you are no longer playing. Their reality and yours have diverged so completely that you are now operating on different servers, in different dimensions that happen to occupy the same physical space. You must understand that their ability to affect you is permanently gone. In the past, their words could cut you, their actions could wound you, and their energy could drain you. This was possible because you were on the same level, playing by the same rules. But now, when they attempt to launch an attack, it no longer has a target to land on. Imagine them sending a hateful email. In the past, that email would have arrived in your inbox and ruined your day. Now, that email is sent, but it travels into a server that no longer exists. It bounces back to them, carrying its own poison. This is the spiritual law of return to sender, and it is now fully automated in your life. Their toxic energy is a boomerang they keep throwing, foolishly believing it will one day hit you, not realizing the laws of spiritual physics have changed and your address is no longer on file. You do not have to do anything, wish them ill, or even defend yourself. The cosmic system now recognizes their energy as incompatible with yours, and it simply reroutes it back to its source. They will, quite literally, be forced to swallow their own medicine. You will start to observe them from a distance, and what you will see is not a monster but a malfunctioning program. You will see them repeating the same old patterns, stuck in the same dramatic loops, fighting the same pointless battles. They will try to slander your name, but they will be speaking a language no one in your new reality understands. It will sound like static. They will try to block your blessings, but they are building a dam in a desert while your river of abundance is flowing from a completely different mountain. Their efforts are futile, wasted on an old version of you that is no longer in existence. Your only feeling toward them, eventually, will be a kind of detached pity. They are trapped in the very prison they tried to build for you, and they do not have the key. A strange phenomenon will also begin to occur. Some of them will experience a form of reality blindness when it comes to your success. You could be standing in front of them in a mansion, holding the keys to your new car, and they will genuinely not be able to see it. Their perception is locked to the old narrative they created about you, the narrative where you are a failure, where you are struggling, where you are beneath them. Your new wealthy reality is so far outside their programmed parameters that their minds literally cannot compute it. They will look right at your success and explain it away as luck, as a trick, or they will simply fail to register it at all. Do not try to convince them. Do not show them your bank account or your receipts. It is a waste of your energy. You cannot explain the existence of color to someone programmed only to see in black and white. Their inability to see your victory is their final prison. You are being called to a position of radical indifference. Not a hateful indifference, but a peaceful, sovereign detachment. Their fate is no longer your concern. Their journey is between them and their creator. Your attempts to save them, change them, or even get an apology from them would be like the main character of a movie trying to have a meaningful conversation with a background extra. It is not possible. The extra only has a few pre-programmed lines. Your destinies have diverged. Let them go. Let them fade into the background scenery of your old life. Your focus is now required for the open world that awaits you. The ghosts in the machine can stay there. They are a part of the code of a game you will never play again. Chapter 6, Your NEW Mission Briefing. There is a pervasive lie in the old world programming that says the goal of overcoming hardship is to arrive at a state of perpetual rest. The fantasy is to get the money, buy the island, and spend the rest of your days in idle comfort. This is the ultimate NPC dream, and it is not for you. The wealthy reality you are entering is not a retirement plan. It is a mission budget. The abundance flowing into your life is not for your comfort alone, it is the funding for your true assignment. You have not been trained this rigorously just to be put on a celestial pension. You have been forged into a weapon, a tool, a vessel for divine will, and your work is just beginning. Your first mission is to become a master builder. For years, you lived in a world constructed by others. You worked for their companies, lived by their rules, and were trapped within their systems. You have now been given the resources and the divine mandate to build your own. This could be a business, a foundation, a community, a new healing modality, or a new art form. The universe needs new systems, new structures based on integrity, compassion, and divine truth, and you are the architect. The ideas that will begin to flood your mind are not random daydreams, they are divine blueprints. The financial abundance you receive is the seed capital. You are here to build arks, not just lifeboats. You are here to construct the infrastructure of the new Earth, the tangible, real-world platforms that will serve and uplift humanity. Your wealth is the tool that allows you to bypass the old, corrupt gatekeepers and create something pure. Your second assignment is to be a lighthouse. Remember the darkness of the hardest level? Remember the feeling of being lost, alone, and without a map. You are now the map for others. But this does not mean you are meant to go back down into the storm and rescue people. A lighthouse does not leave its rock to go save individual ships. It stands firm, anchored in its own truth, and shines its light, period. Your success, your peace, your joy, that is your light. By living your wealthy reality openly and unapologetically, you become a beacon of possibility for those still navigating their own hardest level. You show them that completion is possible. Your story becomes their survival guide. You will not do this by preaching or coaching in the old sense. You will do this simply by being. Your radiant existence is the most powerful sermon you could ever deliver. People will be healed just by being in your presence. People will be inspired just by witnessing your life. Your third mission is to be a guardian of frequency. Your new reality is built on a foundation of high vibrational energy, peace, joy, gratitude, and unconditional love. Your primary and most sacred duty is to protect that frequency at all costs. This is your kingdom, and you are its sovereign. This means you will have to become ruthless in your curation of your reality. You will say no without guilt. You will end relationships without hesitation if they threaten your peace. You will walk away from deals, no matter how lucrative, if they feel energetically misaligned. Your peace is your most valuable asset. It is the very source of your magnetic power and your ability to manifest. Every moment you hold your peace, you are casting a vote for the new Earth, creating a ripple of stability that subtly calms the chaos around you. The abundance you receive is directly tied to the purity of the frequency you hold. Guarding your inner state is no longer a self-care luxury, it is your primary strategic imperative. This is the work. The daily, moment-to-moment choice to prioritize your connection to Source above all else. This is not a burden. It is an honor. For so long you asked, "Why me?" in a tone of despair. Now you understand. The reason it was you is because you were strong enough to endure the training. You were pure enough of heart to be trusted with the power. You are an anointed one, a member of the ground crew for this great planetary shift. The wealthy reality is simply the set of tools you need to do your job effectively. It provides the freedom, the resources, and the influence required to fulfill your cosmic contract. Get ready. Your briefing is over. Your mission is now active. Chapter 7. The open world awaits. The model of your existence has fundamentally changed. You have spent your life moving from one pre-scripted level to the next. The level of childhood, the level of education, the level of career building, and finally, the brutal, soul-defining level of your spiritual awakening. Each stage had its rules, its objectives, its designated enemies, and a relatively linear path. That entire structure is now obsolete. You have not just been moved to another level. You have broken out of the linear progression entirely. You are now standing at the entrance to an open-world game. There is no longer a single correct path. There is no predetermined mission list that you must complete in a specific order. The map, which was once small and shrouded in fog, is now completely uncovered, and you can go anywhere. The only objective now is the one you set for yourself. The only limitations are the ones you choose to accept. This freedom can be terrifying at first. Your system has been trained to respond to external pressure, to look for the next set of instructions. Now, the instructions must come from within. This is the glorious terror of true sovereignty. There is no one to blame and no one to praise but the God force operating through you. The training wheels are off and you are about to discover you can fly. Your soul is the new game designer. Your joy is the new compass. In this open world reality, you will discover that you are a co-creator. The universe is no longer just presenting you with scenarios to react to, it is waiting for your input. It will ask you, what do we build today? Where do we explore? What reality do we wish to experience? Your imagination is the command line interface for reality. What you can conceive of in your mind and feel in your heart, the universe will render into your physical experience. This is why clearing the trauma of the past was so critical. You had to empty your vessel of the old programming so you could fill it with a vision of your own design, not one tainted by fear or past pain. You will also find hidden quests and Easter eggs everywhere. A conversation with a stranger might unlock a new stream of income. A wrong turn might lead you to the perfect home. A sudden urge to learn a new skill might become the foundation of your new empire. The world is no longer a hostile landscape but a playground filled with benevolent secrets waiting for you to find them. The key to discovering them is to follow the gentle nudges of your intuition, the sparks of curiosity, the whispers of joy. These are the divine breadcrumbs leading you toward expansions you cannot yet even imagine. Play. Be curious. Explore the edges of your new, limitless map. The final truth of this open world is this: you are the main character, and the plot is now yours to write. The era of being a supporting character in someone else's story is over. The days of your life being a reaction to the dramas and decisions of others are finished. Every person, every situation, every resource that now enters your life is here to support your story, your mission, your expansion. You are the sun, and the elements of your life are the planets that now revolve around you. This is not arrogance, it is the acceptance of your divine role. Step into that role. Own it. Write a story worthy of the soul that endured so much to get here. Write a tale of joy, of victory, of unprecedented creation, of profound love. The hardest level is complete. The tutorial is over. The game, the real game, has just begun.